Predictable. That has become the essence of Joe Sakic's life. The 15-hour workdays have become routine. No social life, no love interests, no friends. Indeed, Joe Sakic is a loyal servant of the mob. In return, he has been rewarded with the complete trust of his boss, Tony Twist. That trust is an exhaustively heavy burden. As head of accounting, Joe has to keep tabs on all details of Tony Twist's business activities. Information is gathered, organized, sanitized, carefully accounted for. An audit could show a clean, legal operation. Maintaining that shell of legitimacy is a must. The highest priority. So Joe labors toward that end, keenly fiddling with all the boss's dealings into clear harmony. All the pieces are evenly relevant, and thus he has access to every bit of data. Maybe too much.
Hello, Joe. Let's talk. Your boss. I want to know exactly where he is. You see, the fat man's been asking for me. Thought I'd answer his call.
Hey,
If you don't clear up that stuttering now, I'm going to have to kill you. Understand?
He's gone. He's not here. He wanted to check up on one of his, business matters. Yeah, that's it.
Now that was convincing. I don't have time to mess with this. You just tell me where Twist is, and I let you go home. Otherwise, we've got us a problem. You know what
Freeze!
Huh?
Make a move and you're dead. Step away from Mr. Sakic. Now. Nice and slow. And I mean slow. How'd you get in here anyway?
Pivoting slowly, Spawn glowers while considering his next move. Unexpectedly, that decision is made for him. Without warning, his chains lunge forward like rattlesnakes. The security guards didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't that. They react the way they know best. Violently. This new hellspawn is becoming less surprised when his costume springs into action. Its life is joined to his, he knows, so it has a stake in his well-being. The hero allows himself a slight smile.
Oh my god.
Now where were we?
Oh my god.
Except at tax time, Joe isn't really good at dealing with pressure. He knows there's no time to hide the sensitive files, even as he grabs them, but he can't stop himself.
What have you got there, Joe?
Nothing?
The pair stands in silence, Joe replaying the last 60 seconds in his mind. He gathers, organizes, and quickly formats the information.
Here you go.
What? This file's on Terry. I'll be borrowing these for a while, Joe. Thanks.
He melts into a darkened corner. Security personnel can find no trace of his visit. As for Joe Kasich, 3 days from now, his body will be found under the George Washington Bridge, with his hands and feet viciously severed, decapitated, even his genitals missing. The police will conduct a full investigation, but in the absence of anything identifiable about the body, we'll have to close the case of John Doe, 1994-714. Such is the life of a trusted employee of Tony Twist.
Excuse me, sir. Just got off the phone with our snitch Jimmy. Seems he's been doing his homework. One of the bums he knows says our hero usually hangs out in the same 4-block radius. I've mapped it out already, sir. I'll do some early scouting and ask a few questions. Meet you at Port Authority at 10 o'clock. Okay, sir? Sir!
It seems our little web has finally caught us a fly. I knew that Jimmy would come through for us, though I didn't expect it this quickly. Obviously, our chat had a profound impact on him. It's amazing how respected us cops are. I feel loved. By the way, did you eat that last jelly donut? I was looking forward to that one.
Not me, sir. But those reddish gelatin stains on your shirt may jog your memory. So I'll be seeing you at 10.
Count on it, Twitch. I got me a little payback on my mind.
Hey boys, how are things with the Ren and Stimpy of New York's finest? Going out to chase more ghosts? Harass a few more of the homeless? Come on, you can tell me.
Evening, Fred. Let's go, Twitch.
Hey, my coffee!
Another dawn breaks over New York City. Only a few sprinkles of sunlight pierce the tightly drawn blinds of these CIA office windows. It's as if the structure itself resists the revealing light of day. The reporters who cover the security issues would envy those stray sunbeams. They've lately had the very pointed questions met with cleverly irrelevant answers. The complete truth has been locked tightly away. All attempts to shed light on one particular new embarrassment for the agency are politely diverted and firmly resisted. Those glimmers of the rising sun cast faint, fluid, eerily evolving shadows over this organization's director. He sits alone again in the executive suite, pondering, calculating. His name is Jason Nguyen. When noticed at all by the larger world, he is referred to as a minor department head in Central Intelligence. In circles that truly matter though, Nguyen's authority and reputation dwarf even that of the late J. Edgar Hoover. He directs the ultra-secret United States Security Group, the nation's highest-level task force, with jurisdiction in all situations, domestic and foreign. Only the President, his cabinet, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff are privy to his findings, strictly on a need-to-know basis. However, recent events have cast doubt on his credibility. Nguyen is unable to explain his 2-day disappearance. Someone has leaked the odd circumstances to the media. Already, enemies throughout the intelligence community have begun circling, looking for a weakness to exploit. The White House is unhappy with his inability to account for those 2 days, and is annoyed to be reading about it in the papers. The interest of the press in this newfound scandal has, his enemies suggest, compromised the motives behind any of his current investigations. One other series of incidents in Nguyen's own backyard is potentially very ugly, to wit, a security breach in a neglected upstate armory, missing ordnance from the same, close to home, stolen personal files. One suspect has been targeted, Terry Fitzgerald, close friend of an agent, Al Simmons, secretly terminated at Nguyen's behest. A thorough investigation has proven that Fitzgerald is clean. Unfortunately, Jason Nguyen cannot afford even the appearance of professional inadequacy. Therefore, the Fitzgerald inquiry will continue. His guilt is predetermined. Nguyen will not fall. Reputation, power, these are the building blocks of madness. CIA, FBI, police, all have been told the same story. that one of their own has turned on them. The accusations come from so high up that it goes unchallenged. Meanwhile, concrete evidence has been manufactured appropriate to satisfy anyone's questions.
Man, what a bore. I hate filling out these damn reports, especially when I had to fill them out in Russian. What a pain.
Terry Fitzgerald concentrates on his monitor, trying to forget the harassing phone calls and face-to-face threats. Practically every law enforcement or intelligence agency in the state has made their displeasure known. He is grateful that Wanda is unaware of this witch hunt. His family's untouched. He knows that won't last. Could the debacle at Columbia University have had something to do with his predicament? He was never confident in his field abilities. Was he being tested? If so, it was no help when that Ukrainian nuclear scientist...
Jesus! Julia? What is it?
Terry! Terry! The box! It's... What kind of sick person would do such a thing? I'll phone security.
No, Julia, don't. I'll take care of this. You alright?
Yes, thanks. What does it mean?
Trouble. For the first time since threats began, Terry's feeling scared. He thought he would have figured out and resolved this problem by now. He's come to realize he was wrong. Possibly dead wrong. Deep within the bowels of Manhattan's back streets, Al Simmons, the Hellspawn, sits on a throne of waste and debris. It was assembled by the homeless, now under his protection. His first instinct was to scoff at their handiwork. But what else could they have built to support his 400-pound mass? Graciously, he accepted their gift, which formalized his role as the Bowery's dark protector. And theirs as his people. They need him to play the part. To be their savior, their newfound god. He's grateful, if a bit uncomfortable, for their devotion. Yet it's the family and friends from his previous human life who fill his thoughts. Now, back from the dead, he has an unholy mission. To his dismay, this is having dire repercussions among those he left behind.
God, no. Twist thinks I'm Terry. And as you requested, Mr. Twist, an additional control circuit has been installed. It will override any homing signals sent out by our opponents.
Good.
Additional modifications were made to his barium armor. While combat damage to his exoskeleton is always possible, this will keep it minimal. The same assaults used in the past will now be rather useless.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you and your boys.
There's one slight problem, sir.
That being?
It seems we weren't able to completely wipe some of his memories. There are a few impulse waves that include data on the government's young blood team that ignored our delete commands.
I'm not concerned about his memory. I need him ready to go tonight. We've had another visit to my office by that costumed freak. I want Overt-Kill operational ASAP. Do I make myself clear? Tonight. Phone my office as soon as he's mobile. In the meantime, I need to check up on another of my situations.
Yes, sir.
You see, my good man, I'm going to cleanse myself of two rather large nuisances this evening. One should be nearly finished. The other should be getting his invite to tonight's party right now.
Hopeless. That's how Terry feels at the moment. In his rush to get home to see if his family is alright, he'd forgotten that today is when Wanda and the baby go to visit Grandma Blake. Normally. He hasn't been able to get them on the phone. Maybe they didn't make it. Maybe they're in trouble already. Questions race wildly through his mind. He curses his growing paranoia. As a trained security operative, he expects better of himself. But no, only one thought repeats.
Please be okay, Wanda.
Again, he looks out the window. Again, he sees an unmarked car with 2 CIA stiffs. He'd spotted them on his frantic drive home. They parked right out front. It's obvious they want him to know he's being toyed with. His paranoia is obviously not unfounded. While Terry tries to come to grips with the situation, a dark sedan pulls up behind the CIA vehicle. This one belongs to a couple of Tony Twist's leg breakers. The government boys take immediate notice.
Hey, Andy, isn't that a couple of Twistelli's goons? Don't tell me Fitzgerald's in cahoots with the mob too! Man, he's completely flipped sides!
Jeez, look at that hardware they're packing. Better call in Phil.
We don't have time!
Freeze! Now!
Andy, get on the radio!
What the hell? It's the feds! Let's get 'em, Louie!
Terry bolts from his house, carrying his own high-powered rifle. He has to end this madness.
Get out of here! All of you, just leave!
This is not a rational move.
You goddamn traitor!
God help me.
Thanks for the pause, idiots!
Finally, the guns fall silent.
Listen up, Fitzgerald! I know you can hear us! We've got your wife and girl. If you want to see either of them again, you be in the alley between 5th and 6th at 27th. At midnight. And you better be alone!
Tires screech as the car speeds away. It's at this moment that Terry's world becomes devoid of reality. He isn't aware that the Mafia wise guys are lying. Wanda, Cyan, and Grandma Blake are actually at a park, quietly observed by some of Twist's men. They called this information into the thugs at Terry's doorstep, who were then to pass him the bogus kidnap story. Of course, Terry would immediately check on Grandma's house. Of course, it'd be empty. This would make the bluff that much more convincing. What the mobsters hadn't foreseen was the presence of the CIA. This complication was easily resolved. Now, Terry stands over the 2 dead G-men. The security agencies had nothing but Wynn's lies to follow until now. No way they'd believe a couple of hitmen happened along and had a shootout on his front lawn. As the sound of sirens draws closer and the neighbors start to peek through their curtains, Terry does the only thing he can think of. He runs. Hours later.
Ow! Hey, ow! He coming! Just like you said over on 6. Then the files were correct.
The documents produced by Spawn from Tony Twist's office had mentioned Overt-Kill's midnight appointment.
You better hurry, man, cause some black dude in a suit is right in his sights. Terry, I don't know who he is, but that robot's as big as a bus. He don't stand a chance. Whatever you're going to do, please be careful. This is serious. Thanks for the warning. I've got a little help tucked away.
It's past midnight. What's keeping these people? What's that?
Nice to meet you again, hero.
Wanda. Cyan. I love you.
A soft whisper passes his lips as he prepares to die.
Damn it! Where'd I put them?
Panic. He had buried the 2 steel-piercing AK-720X1 portable cannons. Spawn knew that they might come in handy someday, so he kept the guns hidden. Anything sharp, rotten, or heavy enough to discourage idle curiosity was used as camouflage. These weapons had decimated Overt-Kill on their first go-around. They'll work a second time, if he can find them. Spawn realizes that each passing moment is keeping Terry in a potentially fatal position. There's no time for delay. On any level.
Don't move.
Great work, Twitch.
Thank you, sir. Fellas, I don't need this right now.
And to his friends. To be continued.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to become part of the House Simmons Army. Also, follow the Twitter for more updates and ring the bell to be notified. Also, give the Twitch a follow. Oh, and welcome back. Malabolgia, just you wait.